Welcome, Gemini, to your Gemini May 2021 reading and forecast. I'm Nigel Saint James. For those of you who are stopping by for the first time, welcome, and it's great to see the subscribers back again. Much love and affection to you, as always. It's always great to see you. By the way, I've had the great pleasure of doing some readings, personal readings for Gemini men and women over the course of the last month. And if you'd like to have a private one-on-one clairvoyant reading with me, just to check out the information that's in the description box below. Now, we're going to take 5 cards for you, because that's all we need here, don't we, on our channel for our monthly readings, because they are packed full of information. So let's see what there is first up. There's the King of Cups. What is that? The Queen of Cups. The Nine of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune, and finally, the 10 of Wands. Great. Let's see what there is in store for you now. So come and sit down beside me, and we'll have a look at the imagery on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Well, where shall we go first? Great set of cards here. Let's have a look at the major arcana, shall we, which is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, a great deal of symbology in this, and a lot of indigenous American symbology here. This painting has some of the traditional symbols combined with the Native American medicine wheel. Now, at the hub of the wheel is an 8-pointed star, as above, so below. The spokes that shoot off from the star represent spirit. The red vertical spoke, which you may see in the center there, that represents the red road of the physical on the Native American medicine wheel. The blue horizontal stroke represents the blue road, the journey of the spirit on the medicine wheel. The red and blue lines create a cross, well, that passes over, you may or may not be able to see them, but they pass over the alchemical symbols for mercury, salt, water, and sulfur, which symbolizes the magical possibilities available if you choose to seek higher wisdom. The red and blue lines also extend to the outer circle, each touching a letter spelling T-A-R-O-T, tarot. Well, there you go. And they also shoot from the center to, and you might remember from last month's reading, these Hebrew letters, Yod-He-Vav-He, which is the tetragrammaton, translated as Yahweh. We think it's pronounced Yahweh, but no one actually knows for certain. Just don't, because there were no vowel markers in the Hebrew biblical language, but one might say the most high name of God. Now, the rainbow which emanates from the center here, I think that represents the whirling rainbow of universal peace. The hand in the rainbow, what does that suggest? Well, I think that it talks about your individual destiny. Now look at the cycles of the moon which are going around on the outside there. Can you see them? Surrounding the outside of the wheel, they represent the cycles of life that are ever-changing. The spirals moving out from the wheel signal the constant motion of the wheel's cycles. Now, animals are part of Native American medicine wheel. In the east is the eagle, representing masculine energy, illumination, spirit, the golden door. In the south is the coyote, and the coyote is child energy, innocence and faith. In the west is the black bear. See it there? Well, that is feminine energy, introspection. And in the north, the white buffalo, the place of wisdom and gratitude. Now, there are 4 archangels surrounding the outside of it here. They each have a star in their hands, which I think symbolizes their guidance and help for you during this time. The archangel at the bottom right is Michael, bringing protection. The element is fire. The astrological aspect is Leo. The archangel on the bottom left is Uriel, bringing peace. The element is earth. The astrological aspect is Taurus. The archangel on the top left is Raphael, bringing healing. The element is air. The astrological aspect being Aquarius. And the archangel at the top right-hand corner is the famous Gabriel, bringing resurrection. The element is water, the astrological aspect of which is Scorpio. Now, the planet associated with the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, the planet of great good luck and expansiveness. And that's what's coming your way this month. Now, it's always good to know where you are on the wheel, I think. Are you at the bottom, going up, or are you at the top, ready to cycle onto yet another journey of transition? What you want to remember is that your present actions will affect your life and that of others now and into the future. The Wheel of Fortune spins those actions around, creating your fate. You never know when a good or not so good deed will come around and greet you again. The Wheel of Fortune represents cause and effect. One of the lessons of the Wheel of Fortune is to be able to stay in the center of the wheel. No matter what confronts you, if you stay centered, you are able to act from a place of balance rather than from a place of reactionary emotion. When you are centered, or in your hub, you are aware of your strengths and weaknesses, your limits and boundaries, doing the best that you can with what you've got. Now, you may not be in control of the circumstances, but you can be in control of how you deal with them. The Wheel of Fortune is the ever-turning cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Its number 10, for me, is very much associated with the planet of the Earth itself, representing the end or completion of something, as well as the beginning of something new. I think this represents a turning point in your life. Things are going to be getting better. If miracles aren't occurring, then there's something wrong. It represents unexpected encounters and twists of fate. You never know what is around the corner. And the Wheel of Fortune, for you, this month, I think, brings the gifts of movement, change, good fortune, success, beneficial karma, and coming into your destiny. Now, I'm drawn to this card on the bottom left, which is the Ten of Wands. Let's have a look at some of the symbology, shall we? It really tells us, the symbology in these cards really tells us really what's going to be going on here, I think. The image of the Ten of Wands is a man spinning the wheel of life, starting a new cycle. At the center of the wheel, you might see it in the colors here, this magenta color and this sort of blue going around. Well, that is the yin and yang symbol, the symbol of balancing the masculine and feminine energies, and the 8-pointed stars symbolizing as within, so without. The two wands on the wheel create the cross of the balance between spirit and matter. The 8 wands behind him, you see them there, well, they are charged with cosmic energy, ready to manifest what the driver of the wheel decides. His third eye, you can see on his forehead, begins to open to divine insight. The mystical bear standing behind the man is his guide. The bear reminds the man of his personal power, strength, and his life force. The bear reminds you, when life burdens get overwhelming and heavy on your shoulders, take a deep breath, quiet yourself, and reconnect with your true purpose. This is a time to balance, rebalance, and reclaim yourself. when you spin your wheel, what intentions and desires are you really seeding? Pay attention to what really matters and how your intentions will unfold in the future collective. Now there's a super moon rising up behind the man and the bear, bringing light to patterns that need to be shifted and let go. And stars shoot out of the center of the wheel, signifying the possibilities you can create in your life. In some respects, I think that this Ten of Wands is shining light on the choices you've made that block your creative energy and life force, suppressing your true talents. It indicates a personality that wants to be in control of everything. Sometimes a workaholic whose goal never feels totally fulfilled or complete. I think that the message of this card here for you this month is to recognize and address your outgrown karmic patterns. It can bring the heavy burdens of life, but it can also bring the opportunity to connect with your soul self, finding your life's true path to freedom and liberation. You are the driver of your physical vehicle, your body. What happens to you on this earth plane is unpredictable, but if you keep your center hub, your heart, mind, and spirit in alignment, balanced with your daily activities, you will navigate through any challenge successfully. So listen to your core. The Suit of Wands is fiery, masculine energy, and it needs to be contained sometimes and balanced to express itself in productive ways. The number 10, as I say, represents completions and beginnings and is very much associated with what's happening on the physical plane. I think that the mission and why this has turned up is to say, and I mean this respectfully, to stop the sabotaging and defeating patterns, transform your shadow aspect, and empower yourself to the next stage of growth. You are a spiritual warrior. Use the burning torch of the Suit of Wands and cast light on past and present patterns, understanding how your choices create your karma and destiny for your future. Now, allied with this Ten of Wands happens to be the card, the 9, in the same suit. And what's this got to tell us symbolically? Well, the image of the 9 of Wands, it looks like a druid knight who holds a central staff, the 9th staff. There are 8 behind him, and there's the 9th. This is the moon in Sagittarius, and I have a great association of the moon with the number 9 here, so there is a double lunar influence. It's about digging deep, going into yourself. The staff symbolizes the center path of, well, if you're familiar with the Kabbalistic tree of life, which is represents, I suppose, the marriage between heaven and earth. It symbolizes the world of consciousness shining into the world of your subconscious, grounding and transforming the light's energy into manifestation, opening yourself up to the truth. Now, the starry universe that's here, that speaks of all possibilities and memory, and that fills his body. The wolf in Native American, in the ancient Celtic and ancient European traditions and cultures, symbolizes the guide and teacher for life and spirit journeys. The wolf assists in the transformation, stimulating all levels of consciousness, stirring the spirit to awaken and to begin a quest. The wolf announces the call of the unknown. He represents the symbolic death of the initiate and the subsequent rebirth That is being born again. Now the black wolf, which is unknown, dark, feminine, soul, is teamed with white wolf, which is light, energetic, masculine, intellect. Together they are the man's allies, guiding him through life's journeys of chaos, teaching how to hold the sacred balance of wisdom, love, and will. And the 8 wands behind him, and the wolves, symbolize past experiences and future goals. Now, I have seen it be the case that when the 9 of Wands turns up in this situation, that you could, from time to time, feel angry or be on the defensive or overact, not knowing when to let something go. Sometimes it can signal a traumatic experience in your life that needs to be confronted and healed. At these times, it is important to connect to your true inner being, letting go of the battles in your mind, heart, and soul. This requires clarity, strength, belief, and trust. Once this is achieved, you stand your ground as life's hard lessons swirl around you. Light will shine through to your heart and soul, and the battle becomes the path of acceptance that leads to healing and peace. You begin to see karmically what is your work and what is not. You will dig deep during this time, and you will find within you sources of strength and power that you never thought that you had. You will overcome difficulties. You will overcome past patterns. You will overcome adversity. You have great strength. It is enduring strength, and it is a strength that's going to be with you throughout the entire month. And I think what this energy does is it says it is bringing an opportunity now for you to grow and expand out of toxic and traumatic experiences into a new way of life that is very fulfilling. Now on the top row here, we have the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Now who should we deal with first? Well, ladies first is my motto. So let's see what there is with this Queen. Oh my word, she's a pretty girl, isn't she? Well, in this painting, the Queen holds the Holy Grail close to her heart. Now, the Holy Grail is an ancient sacred vessel that brings it symbolizes the connection of the divine into the natural world, manifesting in inconceivable spiritual abundance. Now, for you to be able to accept this gift, your heart, body, and soul must be pure. The Queen's body is the sacred Grail vessel, symbolized by the larger Grail that surrounds her head and shoulders. Its stem down here flows down through her chakras, and the foot of the Grail submerges into the deep waters of all possibilities, thus illuminating the total being is symbolized by the full moon rising out of the water. And the larger Grail and her crown chakra. The Grail is ingrained in the Queen's heart. The flow of its energy and gifts constantly cycle through her, sending love and blessings out into the physical world. Now this papyrus reeds, this sort of seaweed-colored papyrus, burst with stars of everlasting existence. The fish represent, well, our soul wisdom that seeks transcendence. The blue lotus flowers, can you see them? They represent wisdom, purity, and enlightenment. The open lotus speaks to enlightened self. And the scarlet ibis, the bird that's in the bottom right-hand corner that's there, well, that was sacred to the Egyptians, symbolizing the connection of the heart and divine wisdom. Its message is to listen to the soul self. Now, the Queen's necklace is embellished with pearls of divine wisdom. Her seaweed-colored hair has 3 braids on either side of her head, doesn't it? And that represents the cycle of the goddess, life, death, and rebirth. Her crown is made from scallop shells, precious jewels, and pearls. The Queen of Cups' crown is the badge of dedication, seeking the sacred path that will ascend to the divine light of love, receiving the gifts and answers that enrich and bless her total being. And this mandala, or mandala as they're called, Tibetan mostly, but often in Hindu and Buddhism as well, is decorated with the 8-pointed lotus, symbolizing cosmic harmony. And at the center are 3 spiraling cycles of the goddess. I think the message that this queen is bringing to you this month is that she's asking you to reflect on deeper aspects of yourself. What dream or vision is calling you? What watery realms within are starting to shift? The Queen is there to assist you through emotional transitions. When challenges confront you, she reminds you to remember what brings true happiness to your heart. She asks you to be gentle with yourself as well as others. She inspires you to live your life through love, to follow what your heart seeks by listening and trusting your intuitions without judgment. She teaches you that meditation can bring you information and healing on many levels. Quiet yourself, pray, listen, and reflect on the answers that lie in your heart. Find the grail within. She is inviting you to embrace your inner heartfelt truth rather than fighting it. Ultimately, self-love and self-trust opens all doors. She brings the gifts of love, nurturing, healing, and creative imagination. And with her at your side, you will dream deeply and be extra sensitive to the energies and inspirations that open your heart and light your creative spirit. So listen. A lot of Gemini in this card here, this Queen of Cups. A lot of Cancer as well. Now her husband, the Knight of Cups, Pisces, Scorpio. No, Pisces and, who might it be? Aquarius, I think, are going to be important to you during this period. Well, the symbology here is that the waves part behind him, creating his throne, don't they? And that symbolizes his ability to be centered with the ever-changing tides of life. The 3 flying fish. Have you seen flying fish? I saw them off Fiji one time. They represent the unconscious self moving through the veil of consciousness. The king's cloak and gown with various hues of blue colors symbolize emotional balance, imagination, intuition, sensitivity, and serenity. His sea turtle breastplate, can you make that out there in that sort of green? It represents the journey of the soul self moving through the magical realms of imagination and intuition. His heart-shaped chakras symbolize love, ascending and opening each chakra as it opens to spirit. The king's holy grail is there. We've spoken of the Holy Grail in connection with his wife. Now, the King of Cups shield displays two whales which are swimming in a Piscean form. Whales are, well, interesting, intelligent being. Pisces symbolizes spiritual compassion, intuition, oneness of life and creativity. Now, the whale Piscean shield, I suppose, represents great healing and transformation through love. And the dolphin here, well, actually, interestingly, dolphin is also associated as historically as a sign of Pisces, but it dives deep into the waters of cosmic love. Now, the dolphin was once a land animal. Millions of years ago, the dolphin slipped into the ocean and eventually transformed into the water mammals that we know now. They represent the power of breath, because they need to come to the surface to breathe, which is mana or life force. The power of breath to release emotions and to speak from the heart. He is bringing with him for you guidance, compassion, love, and healing. Your creative imagination and life force will join, bringing opportunities and inspired visions. And they will become manifest. He signals that is a time when new doorways begin to open. He brings success, achievement, or recognition. He indicates a time to listen to the stirrings of your heart. The gifts of courage and focus are now in place to assist in pursuing a vision you want to manifest. Pay attention and exercise your intuition, as it will guide you through opportunities and challenges. Emotional matters can become more intense as the heart opens. You may feel the need to seek guidance, or you may be a counselor or a mentor for somebody else, I think. You could well become involved in volunteering in a community organization. Listen to your inner truth. It is time to be authentic with yourself and those around you. Don't be misguided by others. Move from a place of love. The King's message is to bring understanding, kindness, compassion, gentleness, and listening to your heart before you act. That's it for you this month. Well, I really enjoyed doing that for you. I'm glad we had the chance to do that. It was really interesting, I thought. Did you? I think it's fantastic. I think this is going to be a good month for you. And don't you deserve it? You do deserve it, because you always put out so much, so it's time for you to get something back, I think. And anyway, until that coming back happens, remember this, and remember this always, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.